I want to try something different this week.
Perception.
The ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses.
They can change your perception.
On December 14th, 2012, the Sandy Hook school shooting occurred. A young man named Adam Lanza shot his mother and killed her before taking the lives of 20 students and 6 staff members of the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. At least that's what the media tells us.
Holy fuck!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus fucking Christ!
But the Illuminati was a real organization at one point in history. In 1776, in Bavaria, Germany, a professor named Adam Weishaupt decided to create a...
Look at this picture. Without looking it up, what was the name of this book, and how do you spell it?
More than 7 feet tall. Over 500 pounds.
Is YouTube really the place that we should be getting this information? YouTube videos? I mean, look at this YouTube video you're watching now. Judging by the intro, you might have thought that this was going to be another conspiracy video, but mostly you're wrong. This is actually going to be another video telling you about perception and the way it affects us. You may or may not have even noticed that this canvas is actually flipped horizontally. And this is actually where I'm supposed to be. Is your mind blown yet? Perception. One thing that I've always thought about is how you see your life, how you see your universe, everything you experience, how you are taking it in. In a way, there's 2 different ways of looking at it, in my opinion. There's the physical aspect of actual physical perception as human beings, and there's a psychological aspect to perception as far as your perception on your life and where you are and who you are. I kind of want to touch on both a little bit. As human beings, we perceive only 5 different ways with our 5 different senses: sight, smell, touch, hearing, taste, right? But we also have very, very low functioning ways of hearing and seeing, smelling, tasting. The universe is so vast and so complicated, but we really see it in a much more simple way than it really is. And this is a huge reason why when we do psychedelics, you see things that you don't normally see because your senses are all heightened. This is a huge reason why psychedelics are looked at the way they are, because they allow you to perceive your world in a different way than you normally do, which is fucking beautiful. It's like superpowers in a sense. It's a telescope or a microscope that allows you to see things that you normally couldn't. So in that aspect of perception, us as humans were very limited. Psychedelics do help in the physical sense of heightening our senses, and that's that part. My main point of this video, what I really wanted to talk about, was the way that we perceive ourselves and we perceive our lives. Joe Rogan and Dan Bilzerian, is that how you say his name? I recently had a talk on Joe Rogan's talk show. I'm just going to play a little excerpt of that so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
You know, a lot of times I have these crazy parties. I'll invite disabled veterans out or whatever and try and show them a good time. And this one time I had this one guy who got both of his legs blown off in Afghanistan, and super cool dude, like really humble, nice guy. And there was this like super hot chick that was at the party, and I really wanted to fuck her, but I was like, I'll see if I can get her to fuck him. And I paid her a fucking ton of money, which is kind of fucked up. She ended up fucking this guy, and I was fucked up, and I ended up passing out, and I forgot about it. And the next day we're sitting there at breakfast, and I was just like, I was so fucking miserable. And I look over at this dude, and I'm just like, you know, like, what the fuck are you so happy? He's like smiling and eating his shit, and I was like, you know, I'm hungover. I'm like, what the fuck are you so happy about? You know, he's like, shit, man. He's like, I feel great. I'm like, you're not hungover? He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't give a shit though. And I'm just like, dude, I gotta ask you, man. I'm like, you got the fucking best attitude. I was like, since you've been here, I was like, you've always been fucking positive. I was like, you know, is that ever like, you know, do you ever have moments where you're just like fucking depressed about, you know, the fucking amputation or any of that stuff? I was like, does that fuck with you? I was like, how do you maintain such a good attitude? I was like, I think it's amazing. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, losing my leg is the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'll just never forget it because that statement was just like so like different from what I ever expected this guy to say, right? And he followed it up with, you know, if that never happened to me, he's like, I'd be over in fucking some sand pit in Afghanistan. I'd just be another number. Nobody'd give a shit about me. He goes, and then when I came home, he's like, I'd just be, you know, a fucking military guy and everybody in my town wouldn't care. And he's like, now, he's like, I go and I motivate people and I give these speeches. He goes, and people look up to me and I'm inspiring people. He's like, and I get to do cool shit. I just got a fucking brand new rifle the other week for free. He goes, the military's paying me. He goes, I'm fucking partying here with you. I fucked a super hot chick last night. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, that's good. And then it was just like funny though, because like his whole thought process about it was so great. And I could just see how another guy, if that happened to him, could easily like get into like the woe is me and the whole like, you know, fuck this, you know, I'm depressed and, you know, think about it all the time. Like, how could this have gone, you know, but this guy just like accepted it, fucking charged with it. And I was just like, he viewed it as like a huge positive. And I thought that was great. You never really know if something is bad or good because you don't know how that's going to affect the rest of your life.
I was gonna straight out say it. Somebody literally just broke into my fucking house and took my laptop and they took my camcorder. I was at work and Monica, my wife, took the girls to go down the street to get some fucking laundry detergent and shit from some chick on OfferUp. They were gone 30 minutes. This is the front of my house. Somebody literally, obviously blinds and shit weren't open, walked over to this fucking place, opened this window, reached in and took my fucking laptop and my camcorder that were both right there. That laptop had every single song I ever made, it had every lyric I ever wrote, had every beat that I ever rapped on. It had files for songs I was working on, it had files for videos I was making, it had pictures of my daughter. After all that happened, I really felt like it was going to take me months and months to get back to making YouTube videos. It's going to be one of the hardest things I could do to, you know, even continue, you know, making music and just doing this thing that I love. Honestly, it was actually the opposite. It was one of the most inspiring things that have ever happened. Since then, I've had a huge increase on my YouTube channel. I've been making quality videos. I eventually got around to, with a lot of your guys' help, getting a new computer, a computer that was 3 times as good as my old one. I bring this up because it is the most fresh and recent example of perception in my life. I felt like I had everything stolen from me, but it was more like a gift. And I felt like in the weeks after, I started to see that that was what was going to happen. Because I started to see that there was no possibility that I couldn't allow that to happen. It had to be a positive. I had to make it that way. I had to change my perception on the issue, and that is the only way you can beat it, is by changing your perception of the negativity in your life. When I performed and did one of my first legitimate shows, I did my favorite and best song, in my opinion, Beneath the Winter Snow live. And during that performance, I thanked the guy who stole my laptop.
I want to dedicate this song to the motherfucker who stole my laptop. You're a piece of shit, but I fucking love you. Let's go. Thank you.
A lot of people in the crowd didn't get it, but, you know, that's what it was. It was me changing my perception to the idea that, you know, this was going to be a good thing. So perception is everything. You can either wake up every day dreading your day, being negative about everything, complaining, or you cannot do that. Fake even that it's good. Pretend like you're being positive, even if you don't feel like you are. Sometimes pretending leads to really feeling that way. It is a very, very liberating and amazing feeling when you can get to a point where you are able to take a step out of situations, even as they're happening, and really look at both sides, choose to perceive things certain ways, and move forward. As I get older, I feel like I'm getting a lot better at life decisions and just dealing with things in life. And I just kind of want to share that. So, yeah. Perception.
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 So yeah, smoke something, drink something. I go by the name of Audible484. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. It helps out a lot. If you're new here, I make videos every Wednesday. Please click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys. Peace out.